you are looking for a categorically magical winter destination in Europe, Prague is it. And after a few blissfully snowy days in this breathtaking city, I have to say, it exceeded all of my expectations. From the absolutely gorgeous snow-capped buildings to the sprawling Christmas markets and the unique foodie stops, here is everything I did and loved when spending 48 hours in Prague this past winter. Welcome friends, we are in Prague. My husband Ryan and I are here for the next 48 hours. It is the third stop on our sort of winter European Christmas markets tour. We started in Hallstatt and Innsbruck in Austria. We then went up to Vienna, and then last night we caught the 4-hour train from Vienna over to Prague. Yesterday when we arrived it was snowing and it was quite a full-on travel day, so we kind of just chilled in our hotel, got room service, but we are up bright and early to make the most of the first of our 2 full days in Prague. On today's agenda we are heading up Prague Castle and some of the key sites that are around that area. And it is still properly snowing outside, so it will be very interesting navigating the city with that. But first, something important, breakfast and coffee. With the snow coming down, we popped into Cafe Riot to fuel up. This was a 10 out of 10 cafe and a fluke find on Google Maps. I am a cafe obsessive, so I do tend to do a lot of research before a trip, but sometimes just opening up Google Maps can really be a winner. And with caffeine and pancakes consumed, it is time to get going for our main touristy activity of the day, Prague Castle. I'm going to be straight up, I had mixed feelings about our time at Prague Castle. It was super magical in the snow, definitely like something straight out of a Harry Potter movie at Christmas time. But I do think we did this wrong. While you can buy entrance tickets in advance, you still need to queue for every single building to get in. And guys, it was busy, way too busy on this day in my opinion. Even just to navigate around the grounds, you were trying to wind your way around very big group tours blocking most of the pathways. And to be honest, I think exploring the grounds was the best bit, and you can access these for free. So in my opinion, I would recommend not spending money on tickets and just come here very early to sort of visit the grounds. After freezing our fingers off, it was definitely time for a snack and a beer. Just down the road from the castle is this brewery situated in a monastery dating back to 1142. The brews here were Ryan approved and they had a bunch of beer-infused food. We tried this delicious hot soup, and I, on the other hand, got a hot chocolate because it is kind of mandatory on a day like this. Across the road, you will also find the entrance to this library that you maybe have seen all over social media, and I would say it is worth it if you are in the area, but just keep in mind you do need to buy a ticket and you can only view the library from the outside unless you organise a special tour. At this point we were ready for a bit of nature and the snow was still coming down, so we walked our way up into this winter wonderland nearby and there was barely a soul. We grabbed some hot apple juice, which is such a winter favourite, and continued on to the Petrin Tower lookout, and from here you can take the funicular back down Petrin Hill. I've probably only seen snowfall like this maybe 3 other times in my life, and it is still the most magical thing ever. Back in the centre, and we spent our evening browsing through some of these smaller Christmas markets as we slowly made our way across the bridge to our dinner reservation. I saw this restaurant mentioned in some obscure hotel blog and I am so glad I took a punt on it. It serves a modern and lighter take on hearty traditional Czech food, and as you can see, the decor is absolutely fascinating. The food here was really tasty and even a bit theatrical. I mean, these tableside flambe crepes were just such a showstopper. This is our last full day in Prague, and yesterday was quite full on navigating the snow and the crowds, but I think today will be a little bit different. The sun is shining outside, we are up nice and early to go and see some of the main spots like the bridge and the markets, and then the plan for the rest of the day, a food tour. We are doing it with one of my favourite food tour companies, Eating Europe, and I always love their tours because they tend to kind of take you off the beaten track and you get to kind of see things that you wouldn't otherwise. The groups are quite small, it's a really enjoyable experience, and you learn about like the history and the city through eating a whole bunch of food. But it is 7 degrees outside, so we have got to wrap up warm. We're just like, I don't think people who were brought up in New Zealand were built for this weather, really. I don't think I can convey to you just how perfect the weather was this day. Absolutely freezing, but with these beautiful clear blue skies, and a moment for these birds, please. We wandered our way over to Charles Bridge, a medieval stone arch bridge that crosses the river between the castle and the old town. It is known for its Gothic style architecture and all of these statues dotted along it. And given how stunning this day was, I knew it was the right time to see the city from above, so we strolled back into the old town to climb the 172 steps up the Astronomical clock tower. This is located inside the town hall alongside a few other exhibitions, and the entrance ticket is actually half price Tuesdays to Sundays for the first hour of opening. Guys, these views, I just cannot get over them, and looking back, I don't think I quite realized how lucky we were to see Prague with this magical, ethereal dusting of snow. Our hands were absolutely freezing off, so it was time for a stop at the Christmas markets, which were really enjoyable at this time of morning. Prague's markets are known for being some of the busiest, and it definitely gets that way later in the day, so try and visit as early as possible. And definitely get some fresh chimney cakes with a hot cup of mead. This was maybe one of my favourite food combinations of the whole trip. Speaking of food, it is time to eat more. We navigated our way through the beautiful, peaceful Jewish quarter and popped out near the river to start our food tour. Things began on a boat, which is also a local brewery, so needless to say, Ryan was very happy about this. I'm always so impressed at how this company curates locations for their food tours. It is the perfect blend of things you want to see and try as a tourist, but mostly from local and independent shops, along with plenty of surprise tastings. One of my favorite stops as a sweet tooth has to be this Czech gingerbread shop. Everything in here was beyond adorable, and let's just say I walked away with a fair few souvenirs. After more tastings and walking around, we wrapped up the day at one of Prague's most famous cafes, which was such a bonus as the tour gets to skip the queue and head straight to their own spot in the cafe. This is why I always recommend doing a food tour as early as you can in your trip, so that you know where to eat, and often you might visit a local institution that you have on your eating list anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I always find the final travel day a bit of a tricky one, especially when you're flying out in the evening. It might just be a combination of being super tired, but also not wanting to go too far from the hotel. So we kept this one low-key and picked up a coffee and decided to go and check out one of the other Christmas markets in the main shopping area. While we tried to persevere, the cold really did get the best of us this morning, so we bundled up into a chocolate cafe to enjoy a cup of the good stuff and defrost a little bit. Now this was absolutely delicious. We're about to head out in -12-degree weather to try and navigate our way to the airport, so that brings this vlog to a close. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more sort of winter, Christmas in Europe inspiration, check out my Vienna and then my Hallstatt and Innsbruck vlogs. I will pop them both up here. And if you're new around here, why not subscribe? I would love to have you here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!